I thought I would dress up like a 90s grunge kid for a Halloween show. And then I walked in, I was like, I just look like I belong here. I want to tell you a little bit about me. I am a little bit famous. You guys might recognize me from the Netflix baking competition Nailed It Holiday. Cosmopolitan magazine named my cake one of the top 6 worst cakes ever made on the show. I have fans. They're mostly 9-year-old girls and a couple creepy guys on Twitter that are into cake stuff or whatever. One of these girls came up to me on the playground. She said, "Do you like baking?" And I said, "Mm-hmm. Did you see Nailed It?" And she said, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "How did I do?" And she went, and I said, "Would you like a picture?" And she goes, "You didn't win." I was like, "You came up to me, little girl. Where's your mother?" Then I tattled on that bitch. I'm actually a very confrontational person. I'm not much of a fighter. I mean, look at me. I'm Midwest hot, Wisconsin 10. I know my place in the world. But I'm not even strong enough to push my thumb through the aluminum foil and the NyQuil. So I gotta be a tough talker. I gotta talk tough. And it helps if I have a good hype man in my corner. Someone to just be like, "That's bullshit." So I was on the phone with this insurance woman, and she was just boiling my blood. So I called my husband. I said, "This woman said she felt like I was attacking her." And he goes, "Were you using a tone?" Now, why are we asking questions we know the answers to? Of course I was using a tone. I'm a white woman. So I called my sister Tony, and I said, "This woman said she felt like I was attacking her." And she goes, "Bitch, what's her name?" That's a hype man, right? See, if we were younger, and she said to me, like, "What's her name?" that means I'm gonna go pick a fight. But I say to her today, like, "What's her name?" She says, "We're gonna put that name into Facebook and ruin that bitch's life in a different way." If you couldn't tell from that exchange, I'm Italian. Any other paisans here?
My daughter is.
Oh, we don't normally like to identify ourselves in crowds. Just ask JFK. Oh, my people killed Jesus too. See, a lot of people think the Jews killed Jesus, but that's not true. The Romans killed Jesus, and I want credit. Like I said, I'm Italian. My baby sister Tony and I are very light-haired, light-skinned like my mother. And my sister Nikki is very jet black hair, very caramel skin like my father. So we were in the Kmart, and I was like chonking down on a huge dill pickle because it was the 80s, and that's what you did in Kmart. And this woman came over to my sister, and she kneeled down, and she said, "Is this your mother?" And my mother said, "Excuse me?" And the woman said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you don't look Mexican." This is the moment the light bulb goes off. I'm gonna convince my sister that she was adopted. So we have this like display birth certificate that you get like at the grocery store. It has little baby ink feet on it in a picture. You write down how long it is, how much it weighs, you put it in a frame, you throw it on the wall. So I said, "Nikki, I can prove you're not Mexican." And I brought her to the picture, and I ran my finger across a tiny sentence at the bottom of the frame, and it said, "Made in Taiwan." I said, "You were made in Taiwan, that's a legal document." And she started freaking out. She was like, "My real family's gonna come for me. My real family's gonna come for me." My mother was so shaken mad with me. She said, "Your father's gonna deal with you." So behind that closed door, my dad said, "Don't tell your mother that I didn't hit you. And don't tell your mother that I'm drunk." I'm kidding, you guys. He hit me. He was drunk. It was the 80s. I'm proud to say after 25 years of smoking cigarettes, I quit.
Yeah! Fucking square.
I vape now. That is not the reaction my family had. I was at my niece's birthday party, and I was like being cool auntie. I was jumping in the bounce house. I was in the ball pit, and I dropped my vape. So I gathered the kids around. And I said, Auntie dropped her vape. And my nephew goes, well, we really don't know the long-term outcome. And I said, not now, Miles. Anyone who finds it will get $20. And Miles goes, I'll do it for 50. I said, I could buy a new one for 50. And he goes, well, how bad do you want it right now? And then my niece goes, equal work for equal pay. And I said, not for girls.
Yeah. Got her.
I had to save some money, guys. I had to go to the Planned Parenthood to get some lady stuff checked out. Because it's not just for abortions, but I was there to get an abortion. No, they actually removed a golf ball size mass from my cervix. And I'm happy to report I do not have cancer.
Hey, fuck cancer!
I just birthed a golf ball. See, I'm going through perimenopause. That means it's my body's last death rattle to try to give it a baby. My body's like, you give me a baby. And I'm like, I don't want to have another baby. And my body's like, you give me a baby or I'm going to make you wake up every day drenched in sweat. Your body will be wet, but your pussy will be dry. Give me a baby. I'm like, I don't want to have another baby. My body's like, you give me a baby or I'm going to make you birth a golf ball.
Thank you.
So I'm holding off on a gender reveal party till I know how it wants to identify. I assume it's male because it's giving me a pain in my back, my pussy, and my crack. No, but this really happened. I walked into the Planned Parenthood, and the song that was playing over the loudspeaker was, I love it when you call me Big Papa, Big Papa, Big Papa. And I was just sitting with my paperwork like, is no one else going to acknowledge what is happening right now?
Talk your shit.
I just figured they were all in their head about their abortion, so.
I love you.
I'm married. I've been married for 20 years now.
Yeah! Free him.
Fun fact, I'm extremely anemic. That means I bruise really easily. That's what my husband wants me to say. My husband hates that joke. He's like, people are gonna think I beat you. I said, no, they're not. Look at you, come on. I was trying to get the kids out of the house, and he was taking for fucking ever. And I said, what are you gonna do if I die? How are you gonna get these kids out of the house? And he said, that's second mommy's problem. I said, okay, how soon after I die does second mommy come into the picture? And he said, 6 to 8 weeks, I'm not a monster. I said, okay, what happens in the 6 to 8 weeks? And he said, well, how soon are you dying? Because if the kids are grown, it's not my problem. Which makes me want to kill myself just to prove a point. I said to him the other day, babe, if you murdered someone, I wouldn't turn you in, and I'd help you bury the body. And he goes, you would be useless burying a body. I said, what? He said, what's the first thing you would do? I said, from my extensive knowledge of movies, I would buy lime. And he said, where would you get it? And I said, Jewel. And he said, that's the wrong lime. Here's honestly what I thought. You make a hole, and then you put the body, and then you squeeze lime juice over it like you're sauteing it. And the lime juice kind of pickles the body so it doesn't smell. Like it would smell refreshing, actually. And my husband said, you would get caught. The Jewel would call the cops. They say, some lady hit 5 drills in a row. She bought all the limes and 1 paring knife. And because of you, we would lose the children. And I said, you're the one that murdered him. And he said, he deserved to be murdered. And then we fucked because role play's fun. I have a gay daughter. She's poly-bi, gender fluid. Her pronouns are she, they. And I was like, can mommy just call you gay? Is that okay? I think it's more important that I know the whole title so I can answer it correctly if I get pressed on it. Like if I say to someone, I have a gay kid, and they go, aw, what kind? My other daughter is 6 years younger, and she came out as Christian. Now, my husband is atheist, and I'm agnostic, so we've not raised the kids in any kind of religion. But my husband's incredibly supportive of our gay daughter. He's like, anything you want, anything you need, we love you so much. But of our Christian daughter, he's like, everything you're feeling is a lie. They're telling you lies. It's all lies. I am trying to be more progressive. I am trying to learn from my gay daughter. She said, Mom, sometimes I like girls. And sometimes I like boys. And sometimes I like girls that are boys. And sometimes I like boys that are girls. And sometimes I like people that aren't boys or girls. And I said, stop. I am trying to be supportive. But you sound like a whore. Now explain it to mommy again slowly. And at each point tell me how many people are involved. She's 19 now, and we were out shopping. And she took a picture of a closed down bye-bye baby. And she went, Roe v. Wade. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, isn't that an abortion clinic? I said, the bye-bye baby? The bye-bye baby is not a place where you can buy a baby, nor is it a place where you say bye-bye to a baby. It's a place where you buy things for a baby. And she goes, well, that's a confusing name. And I said, is it? That means you buy into the idea that there is a warehouse-sized abortion clinic next to the Bed Bath & Beyond. And if you couldn't tell from that absolutely 100% real conversation I had with my daughter, she has high-functioning autism. Now, we didn't find out she had autism until she was about 17. But when she got her diagnosis, it just hit me right in the chest. I just thought, that makes so much sense. I just thought she was an asshole. And it does make so much sense. And we do communicate so much better now, but here's what came out of it. Now, every time I meet an asshole, I'm like, oh, he's autistic. And it makes it so much easier to deal with him. I'm telling you right now, the next time you meet an asshole, if you just say to yourself, like, oh, I just need to be patient with him, it's going to save your whole day. My daughter said, Mom, why did I get autism? And I said, because I got you vaccinated for chickenpox. I was trying to avoid 3 very uncomfortable, itchy days. No, I'm kidding. I told her the truth. I said, you got that shit from your dad's side of the family. You got your mental health problems from mommy. I have a 12-year-old as well. My 12-year-old took out a Tinder account on her friend's phone because they thought it was funny. I said, let me see the profile. First of all, the profile picture was lesser-known actress Keira Knightley. I said, do you know who this is? And she said, she's pretty. So my 12-year-old was catfishing people on Tinder as Keira Knightley under the alias Sheila. I said, why Sheila? And she said it sounded more adult. This is what the profile said. This girly pop slay. No simps, no sad boys, bet. I said, I don't think that's how adults talk. I don't know, I've never been on a dating app. When my husband and I started dating, he left me messages on my answering machine. You know how hard it is to get a dick pic off an answering machine? I did have this one thought the other day, like, what would be a 90s equivalent of an unsolicited dick pic? It would just be a guy with a bunch of Polaroids of his dick, and he's like, look at this, look at this. She's always been very funny, though. When she was 5, she decided she wanted to call her vagina her front butt. And her pediatrician was incensed with me. How can you not teach her the proper names of her body parts? I said, look, lady, she got her whole life to find out it's called a vagina. She's not gonna be 27, like, fuck me in the front butt. But she's always said these crazy things you're not even gonna believe. I'm gonna tell you what she said, and you're gonna go, no, that's no way did that kid say that. Here we go. She's 5. She's at the TSA counter with my husband. The TSA agent says, what's your name? How old are you? Do you know who he is? She looked at my husband. She looked at the TSA agent and said, no idea. And I was standing in a line over, and I was like, now's not a joke time. Now's not a fun joke time. She also said, I know you love me more than sis because I was planned. And it's true. She said, Mom, you tell abortion jokes. And I said, that's right, I'm an adult and that's part of my job. And she said, fine, because I'm a kid, can I tell pedophile jokes? I said, tell me the joke, let's see how funny it is. A friend I work with, his son is in her class. And he said, Max's dad is coming over for lunch. And she goes, wear a condom, and just walked out of the room. This is the most recent. Her and a few girls at school got together and were talking. This boy, Henry, keeps screenshotting their Snapchats. So when you screenshot a Snapchat, it sends you a notice of who screenshot you. And so they decided he is masturbating to them. So they went as a group to the principal to tell the principal they think he's masturbating to them. With no evidence. He's a little creepy. He's probably masturbating to them. But there's no evidence. The following is the real exchange that happened. I said, honey, sometimes boys your age are very excitable. And she goes, I know he's jerking it to my face, Mom. I just wish he'd find Jesus and stop beating his bitch already. She's 12, so you guys, that's end quote. She said, Mom, is there anything I could do that would make you not love me? And I said, no. And she said, what if I killed Dad? I said, I would still love you. She goes, what if I killed Dad and sis? I said, where am I during this murder spree? And she goes like this, I only have 2 hands. I said, Dad couldn't overpower the 12-year-old with a knife, apparently. I said, I would still love you. And she goes, well, if you did that, I wouldn't love you. So I have an out. Do you guys ever play this game with your family, like guess who in the family could possibly be a serial killer?
No.
Because serial killers' families are always like, I had no idea, we didn't see any signs, so I want to get ahead of that shit. So I narrowed down to 3 people in my family who I think could possibly be serial killers. Number 1, my sister's baby's daddy, who's a handyman, so he drives a windowless van.
Uh-oh.
Number 2, my husband's cousin, who thought it'd be a fun game to teach the kids to blow black pepper into each other's eyes. Or number 3, my 11-year-old nephew, who said, I will not be playing Monopoly because I will not participate in anything that glorifies capitalism. Is that kid, right? You guys, that's Miles. My husband and I have been talking about what we want to do when we pass. And I want to be cremated. And I want to have my funeral at a bowling alley. And I want to be made into a bowling ball. And I want everyone to take a turn with me. Or I want my ashes spread all across a strip club stage, and when the strippers just roll me and be like, she was a good lady, like over and over again. My mother-in-law passed before the pandemic. This kind of didn't like her. And this is, I swear to God, hand to God, the actual eulogy my brother-in-law gave his mother. My mother loved music. Footloose, footloose, everybody cut footloose. My mother was footloose and fancy-free. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. My mother was an all-star. Party rockin' in the house tonight. Everyone, he did this with several song lyrics. I turned to my husband and said, how soon can we talk about this? He said, in the car. I know everyone is tired of hearing about the pandemic, but I do have a good story for you. So it was early in the pandemic, March 2020, and my husband is doing a Zoom interview. And he tells me about this new feature where they have a virtual background so you can't see anything behind. And I'm like, oh, cool, everyone's home, I have to make lunch, I go downstairs, I start making bacon. During the interview, my first floor fire alarm goes off. So I climb up on a chair, I take fire, and I was like, sorry. Then the fire alarm on my 25-foot vaulted ceiling goes off. So I run upstairs and I grab a broom and I throw my bathroom on the end of it and I jump up on the couch and I start waving the broom like this to try to get the smoke to clear, and it's not working. So I knock it off the wall and it flies over the ledge and falls on the first floor and goes in 1,000 pieces. So I go downstairs and the bacon's burnt and I have bacon grease all over my shirt. So I take my shirt off to spray it and put it in the washing machine. And I'm going upstairs and I hear my husband go, "No!" And I turn and I look, and he is not using that new background feature. And that man saw everything. So I'm standing there in my bra, and then my husband, and then the guy. But it was fine, he got the job, so it was fine. Anyone here take an aptitude test in high school to kind of like suggest a job that they should do? Yeah, who said yeah? What job did they suggest for you?
Agriculture.
Agriculture. And what do you do now?
Work from home.
You work from home? That sounds unemployed is what it sounds. Do you have plants at home?
I just bought my wife flowers.
You bought your wife flowers? Okay, close enough, right? Just by looking at me, not performer, what do you think they suggested?
Nurse.
What do you think they suggested my job should be in high school?
Nurse.
I'm not talking to all of you, am I?
Break down.
Social media? Oh no, I'd be terrible. I mean, look at me. Every day it would just be like, well, here we go again. They're like sad. No, they said florist. I know. I mean, would you trust me to make your parents' floral arrangement at their funeral? You haven't seen my baking. I have this friend, Todd, who I'm fairly close with. And I was FaceTiming with his 80-year-old father at 11 o'clock at night, like you do. And he pulled the phone kind of close. His dad pulls the phone kind of close and he goes, "Oh, you're cute." And I said, "Yeah, you like Italian girls?" And he goes like this, "Parmigiano." And I said, "My dad died. You want to be my daddy?" And Todd pulls the phone away and he goes, "He has dementia and bad eyesight." I was like, sounds like somebody doesn't want to have a new mommy. I was at the grocery store and the cashier picked up a carton of cherry-flavored Greek yogurt. And she goes, "You tried this before?" And I said, "Yeah, I tried it." She goes, "You like it?" And I just said I tried it. Why am I buying it again if I don't like it? What is this, my penance? I go home like, "You eat the fucking yogurt, eat the fucking yogurt." I was like, yeah, I tried it, it's good. She goes, "This is a lot of yogurt. You got a husband to help you eat all this yogurt?" Now, why are we judging my yogurt consumption? This is 8 yogurts. This is not an alarming number of yogurts. Second, I decided I'm going to give this woman too much information, try to shut down this line of questioning. So I said, "Yeah, I'm married. I have 2 kids. I'm a comedian." She goes, "A comedian? Say something funny." And I go, "Something funny?" She goes, "Oh shit, you are a comedian. God damn, that's fun. That's fucking funny." That is the best review I've ever gotten. She goes, "How old are your kids?" And I said, 12 and 19. And she goes, "Your 12-year-old get her period yet? Because if so, these pads are too big for her." Now, we all know what a Karen is, right? Well, a Sicilian Karen is a Claudia. Up to this point, we've been like at a Denise level. Here's how a Karen would respond. "How dare you judge my parenting choices based on my maxi pad purchases?" Here's how a Claudia would respond. "I am not too pregnant to kick your ass." "I am not too pregnant to kick your ass" is not a line that I wrote. It's an actual thing my cousin Sarah said to a school bully of mine when I was in the 6th grade. Does anyone here make a little noise, consider themselves like an aggressive driver, like someone kind of weaves in and out of traffic? Yeah? Oh yeah? What's your name? Val? We all fucking hate you, Val. Everyone here just fucking hates you. You're with Val, yeah? Yeah. And how do you feel about her aggressive driving? Does not sound like a 5-star review to me, Val. Here's the thing, Val. Here's the thing. You're a very confident driver. I'm a very nervous driver. You know how many people I'm gonna kill because of you, Val? I just want to know. Here's the thing. I just want to know, why do you do it? Why, Val? Why?
You're in my way.
Okay, I'll just be patient with you. I got you, baby. Cheers to autism. You know what? A lot of people don't understand that there it's a they say it's a spectrum, right? But it's actually a pie. And different people take different slices of the pie, and that's how it actually sorts out. So I know that that their brains work amazingly differently, but amazingly. But back to the funny, Val. You're good. You're a good kid. Yeah. Back to the funny. Enough TED talk for the comedy show. All right. So you ever take a shit so big your next thought is, I should weigh myself. All right. We'll get on this last one. My baby sister Tony was born 4 months premature, and she was born with half a heart and 1 lung, and she had to live in an incubator for the first year of her life. And they said she wouldn't live past the age of 5. But she's 37 now, and she's a mom and a lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah, lawyer.
So every year on her birthday, I call her and I say, "You're supposed to be dead." I'll do one more, and you'll figure out why in a second. So I'm a freelance writer during the day, and I got this job recently to write like funny descriptions for a dick joke themed novelty T-shirt company, and these shirts were terrible. Like, who here by a show of hands wear a shirt that says "Big Clit Energy"? Yeah?
Hell yeah.
You guys are their demographic. This one shirt got me, it said, "My dick will put your ass to sleep. And I have questions." Like, what girl or guy's getting fucked in the ass, the middle just takes a nap, you know? Because if so, I think I'm doing it wrong. Could you imagine? Babe, I can't sleep.
I got something for you, shorty.
Not in the aggressive way, in the nice rockabye baby way that I like. It's rockabye baby, not rockabye bye baby, because that'd be like... I'm not into choking. If you guys want to hang with me after the show, I have some stickers for sale. They're $1 a piece. They say Midwest Hot and Big Clit Energy. You guys have been awesome.